Hello and welcome. We're going to look at the annual results of Barry Callebaut, and I'm joined here by the chairman of Barry Callebaut, Andreas Jacobs, and also by the CEO, Juergen Steinemann. Well, let's plunge straight into those figures. Let's have a look. And this year's sales volume for the standalone company up by 8.7%. And then if we factor in the recent Petra Cocoa acquisition, volumes are up by 11.4%. Then we look at EBIT, and it's up this year by 4.4% for the standalone company. Then if we factor in the Petra Cocoa business, it comes down, and we end the year down 3.9%. So, Juergen, your take on those figures?
I'm very pleased, Paul. If I'm first looking at the figures standalone, 8.7% growth is a fantastic result. I mean, if you compare us to the market, which grew 1.6%, the growth was everywhere in all regions. The growth was in all product groups. The growth was in emerging market. The growth was in outsourcing and partnerships deals. So fantastic. Margins grew, also good, and profit grew also nicely, especially if you look that we deliberately invested in structures and processes to be able to do the next step of growth. On Petra, clearly it should increase top-line growth. That's clear. That's part why we bought it, and it did it. Bottom line doesn't come as a surprise because we knew it when we analyzed the figures, when we looked at the business Petra had already taken. We knew that that would be negative. We anticipated that.
Andreas, does the acquisition of Petra Cocoa, does it fit with the strategy of Barry Callebaut?
Very much so, very much. It's right in the core of our strategy. In fact, the acquisition of Petra Cocoa really serves all our four strategic pillars. First one is expansion. Now with Petra Cocoa being present in 4 different continents, we really grow our presence. Second, innovation. Petra has a lot of very innovative cocoa products, which we can add now to our portfolio. Cost leadership. With Petra, we actually acquire a business that is very competitive on the cost side in cocoa production. And probably most importantly, sustainable cocoa, our 4th pillar, is going to be strengthened with that acquisition because of the footprint we acquired in Asia.
Were your stakeholders all up for this? Were they all along with you all the way?
Well, we're very happy, and we thank our stakeholders, especially the shareholders and all our partners, to really support us in this execution by providing equity for the acquisition, for example, which was very helpful. With that, we have a very stable balance sheet. We have a very stable performance on our financing, so I'm very happy for that.
But of course, it could fail, couldn't it? This acquisition, you may not actually be able to properly bring these two companies together because history is littered with instances of that. How are you going to be different? How do you make sure this succeeds?
I like your question, Paul, because the awareness that it can fail is at the front of each endeavor you go on. But we have analyzed carefully between signing and closing, have our integrations plan clear, and we are properly and consecutively implementing them now together. It's all about giving people trust that they can move on, but also listening to the people, because it's not only folding them into our business, but it's also grasping the opportunities they give us into our business.
Andreas, can I ask you now to look strategically ahead over the next few years? What do you see Barry Callebaut doing then?
I'm very confident, I must say. I think our long-term strategy is the right one. We have a very strong entrepreneurial spirit in the company. I'm not worried that we are getting complacent and slow like lots of market leaders. Let me just take sustainable cocoa as an example. Our projects that we're running in the growing countries are amazing. We're trying to really increase the yield for the farmers. So I'm very, very confident that we have a great future ahead.
And what about the next 12 months? What are the important things for you as a company over the next 12 months then, Juergen?
Now we have 4 focal points if you want. One is the integration of Petra. We talked about it. Surely that's key, number 1. Second is the final implementation of our project Spring, whereby we want to redesign our customer focus for our biggest market, Western Europe. Third is further focus on increasing margins. And fourth, and perhaps the most important, further develop our talent and management development activities. Because at the end, it's all about the question, you have a great project, you have the money, but who do you entrust to make it happen? At the end, it's all about people.
Andreas Jacobs and Juergen Steinemann, thank you both very much.